And I want to say clearly now that is not the case. A lot of us, going through this tragedy, to the point about privilege, a lot of us will only come out of this tragedy with help.
Hmm.
You can help yourself as much as you want, but if you don't have the access to certain resources,
And
if you
support
are not
systems.
supported in a systematic way
Mhm.
that compounds the interest of whatever little small effort you invest, you will find yourself being at the bottom of all of this destruction and this grief, thinking that it's your fault. And sometimes it's not your fault. Sometimes you fail despite your effort, as we've seen. And sometimes you succeed in spite of your effort. And so I feel like we need to sort of, be clear, or to at least offer, space for that perspective for persons who will be dealing with this, to know that you you will need support. This will not just be oh, I'm going to try hard and work harder than everybody else to rise above this, because sometimes you simply cannot. And a thing that I feel like we also need to factor in, when you look at I sent you an article recently, Steph, and I just wanted to touch on it a bit, because it was somebody who was having a deeply critical look at the U.S. poverty line, and the figures that are, and I found it super interesting, because in the U.S., $35,000 is the official salary that you can make for you not to be considered starving. It was based on some formula that was calculated, I believe, in 1953 or about
Yeah,
1947 thereabout.
people who lived
And
on less than $1 a day.
right, and this person gave that an updated look with current data and current trends, and the
Hmm.
amount of money that you need to tread waters in the US right now. The figure is actually $165,000. That's the baseline. So whereas the $35,000 was measuring, I'm not starving, was a bare minimum. What you need to do now, what you need to make in order to
Be
not be
comfortable.
crushed,
Hmm.
is $165,000. That's the floor now. And I'm wondering what that will look like for a place like Jamaica, where I'm not certain what the poverty line may have been before, but I do believe that there has to be a push to sort of refresh that information with current realities, to sort of have an objective look at the things that people will need, because people have been affected to varying degrees, and the measuring stick was broken. I don't think we have an effective measuring stick anymore. And so people will need some different degrees of help, and we have to be mindful to say we have to reserve our judgment as well. We can't just look on people and say they're workless, because, look on this money and do this, and look on that money and do that. Some people, better than just need help, and we have to
And
find a way to help people
and I
in
think
Yeah,
meaningful ways.
that's
I agree with you, but you have to be careful in how you help. And let me be clear and not sound insensitive with what I'm saying. You have to be careful in how you
Yeah.
help, because how you help can turn to you also negatively impacting the person. And what I mean by that is, you can help and cripple somebody. And I want you to hear me out. If you can help somebody to the point where they feel so comfortable and need and reliant on your help, that they don't go out and help themselves. So you also have to be very careful of the selected group that you are pretty much helping and how you help. There is a term where you can give an initial help, give an initial push, and then somebody have to understand, say, listen, this is just to get you to a certain point. I cannot maintain you. And that is what I think people need to understand. You will get help to a certain point, but there comes a point where you, the individual, has to lift yourself up and get to somewhere. You don't have to get to the greatest stage in our life, but you have to get to somewhere where you can at least fend for yourself. And that is something that is ingrained in every single individual. Unless you're just somebody who just decides that, listen, I just want to be dependent for the rest of my life. So that's why I say you have to be very careful because, all right, I can go into the communities that got damaged and feed them every day. Just feed them, feed them, feed them, feed them. When are they going to stop? When are they going to stop? Feed you for a year?
And I think I think what y'all are saying, both things can be true, you know, because in my mind, I think it's important to there's a difference between power and empowerment. I think it's important to empower people to make the changes in their own life, right? But
Mm-hmm.
empowerment comes with providing them with the tools and the systems to do so, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Um, it's and I think the interesting thing about this disaster is that it brought to the fore some of the issues of inequality that existed in Jamaica before Melissa. For example, when Labor Day come forward, everybody come and they fix up a children's home or them give out like a can of tuna or whatever, and you go back to your place of privilege. That is not
Mm-hmm.
empowerment, you know. That is just you doing
Right.
something to feel good on Labor Day for take some pictures, which is what you alluded to. Not
That's,
to, right? But
that's
also it reproduces the kind of expectation in these places that somebody is going to come and give me something, right? Which does not necessarily help,
it
you
doesn't
know. And I
empower.
think sometimes I think that's the balance. I remember one time we did a food drive to a children's home when I was at UWI. And one of the little boys said he wished, and I paraphrase, and he wished that one time somebody just come and talk to him and just instead of just giving him some tin food. And that made my blood run cold because sometimes we just assume or we sit in our ivory tower and we just assume that somebody less privileged, this is all they want,
Yep.
instead of having that conversation with what they want. Because Rimsey, some people might say, listen, I don't want any handouts, I want an opportunity, right? And you provide that for them. Some people might say, listen, I am in no place or position to do anything for myself right now. I need as much help as I can get. And we should be able to provide that as well, right? But I think it's important that there's a system for it. And what I'm afraid of is that in the aftermath of Melissa, two things can happen. One, as Rimza said, could be a reset, which means that we change the way we do some things, we restructure some systems and some organizations. The other thing is,
Yep.
which is what I'm most afraid of, is that we reproduce the inequality, right? The inequality stays the same. The people at the top stay at the top, the people at the bottom stay at the bottom, and we don't do anything. And then you start hearing things
Or
like private
or more
loans,
people
private
just
personal loans, right? Private personal loans for fix up your place because now Melissa is your personal responsibility, and now you're restarting with debt. You understand what I'm saying? And so there's a lot of things. I mean, you have to do what you have to do to fix up your place, especially if, like, I
right.
see some people, me see a video of that man, I lay down pan him roof, in zinc roof, if you try hold it down when Melissa hit and people are laughing at me. I say, you don't understand. This is
You don't
literally the
understand.
physical manifestation of a man
Mm-hmm.
trying to keep the roof over a family head. And a joke thing, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like there's so many experiences that we still can't even quantify or qualify, right? I know you have some people who say, yo, listen, Yeah, some entrepreneurs are gonna come out of this in a Ramsey. Some entrepreneurs are gonna come out of this, right? But not everybody's an entrepreneur, right? So, and some people, you
Yeah.
know, we talk about disability. Some people, if me lose my entire home and village and all of them something there, right? Is there any support for me? Not just the physical, but the mental, because again, I can't even begin to imagine the mental crushing of that weight. You know, have nothing for, you have to say, I don't have. Me not have nothing to start with. Me not have, I don't have
Yeah.
anything. Like what go on? And you know, I say, I don't know. This is gonna be a case study
I
in what to do and
I
what not to do
saw
in real time. It's
there
in real time, and we can hypothesize
absolutely.
and we can make recommendations, but this thing is changing in real time because some
Yeah.
man a thief, and them are the worst kind in a them a time, and that's what we would say.
Yeah.
Why you a thief, right? But some man a thief because them now them pick they have no food, this and that and the other. That's not the justified, but there is,
Yeah.
I think there is so many experiences and so many people responding to things, the same disaster in different ways, that I feel like it's
Yeah.
important for us to see how we can help all of these people. Will we be able to help every single person? We never have. I don't think
I
we ever will
You
be able to
can,
help
you
all of these
can, you
people.
can.
Should we try to help every single person? I
yes.
think we should
That
try. Right.
that
We
yeah.
should, I think we should try in a selfless way, not to post no picture or not for nothing, like none of them someday, you know?
I,
Yeah. And
you know, the harsh reality of it, and as you know, a lot of people don't really like hear and assess certain things, but the truth is, everybody won't get help. Every mouth won't get fed. Um, that's just the harsh reality of it. Everybody won't get help, and everybody, you know, when I look at Hurricane Katrina hit US how much years ago, right? And as a first world country,
2005,
as a first world
that's
country,
about
and
20 years ago.
New Orleans is still not back to where they used to be. Some parts still don't even have running water. I can just imagine.
And never will get back to pre-Katrina
Exactly. And
and
that was
thing,
a
you know?
category 3, almost 2 hurricane. Like,
Yeah.
now we're looking at a third world country with less resources, less all of that. Not saying that we can't build it back, but trust me, it you know, Steph said something earlier, and sad reality of it is going to actually make that the haves or the have not get much wider, because as yeah, what I can look at right
you,
now and
Yeah.
see there it
you
is
think
going to it is going to stretch that band so
It
big.
is going to
It is going to
broaden, it's
take a
going it
serious
I fear it's going to
economy.
broaden that gap. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I
If we don't
think
have like some serious
Yeah,
intervention or some serious
yeah,
and
planning, you know?
that is the thing to what Steph said earlier, and even to your point, when um this is not just a matter of capability, but it's also a matter of political will. Isn't it? Part of the reason why Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans, right? Part of the reason why Hurricane Katrina, the impact, outside of the obvious devastation, there is plausible evidence to support that there is a lack of political will to prioritize the restoration of
Infrastructure and
the area of
mhm.
infrastructure in places affected by Hurricane Katrina. And these places, coincidentally or not, are predominantly black, right? And with factors like these at play, the argument that, Hurricane Melissa might stretch the boundaries of, or might even widen the divide between rich and poor, it's concerning because not only is that pre-existing condition one that was associated with um, just financial situations or systems but it's also a reflection of political will in that aspect. And not only is it a reflection of political will, it's also a reflection of the systems that we have in place. I saw this quote recently that the purpose of a system is what it does. And what the intelligence say do, or what it's supposed to do, whatever it does, that is the purpose of the system. And so we have found ourselves in a situation where we have all these systems in place, but there will have to be a coupling of political will and a sort of redefining of what the systems we have, what those systems do, so that they can better serve a broader range of people, rather than just reinforce what existed before the hurricane. Because if
Mhm.
we should get to a point where this divide continues to widen, I feel like we will reach an inflection point where it's unfortunate that this is the example, but you look at what's happening or what's happened in Haiti and how long they are taking to recover and how worse things have gotten since a lot of these tragedies. And when you look at the trajectory of some of the things
It's
happening,
fickle.
despite the
It's a thin line.
it's a
It's a
thin
thin, and
line
I don't
before
think
you
people
cross that
realize
point.
into civil unrest and all of that. People don't even realize it. All it takes is a
That's it.
little, you know. Yeah, yeah.
That's it. So even if you
Mm.
are of the position that not everyone can be helped, that should at most be a theory that you keep to yourself. The thing that you need to profess to the people is everyone deserves help. Not that we can't help it. It might be factual to say everyone, we can't go help everybody. That
Yeah,
might
a
be, that
politician
might
can't.
be the
A
consensus
politician or a
at the
leader
end.
can't say that. He
I
can't.
can't say that.
But you
He
can't come
can't
out
put
and
on
say,
it. No,
listen,
man.
and everybody will go, no, you have to be the idealist in this case. And this is where, like I pointed out earlier, it comes down to a matter of political will. You have to be willing to make these difficult decisions without necessarily politicizing the
But
tragedy
isn't
that
that too
people
late
are
though?
going
Isn't
through.
that too late? Isn't it already being politicized? Unfortunately, like
Negatively
based on some of the
so,
things I'm seeing,
unfortunately, but
it is
yeah,
already being
but it going
politicized.
to always be that way. It going to always be that way. But I feel that's a different and deeper topic that we probably
It
can't go
is.
touch
It
right
really
now.
is. It really, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
We can't. Let's not even start that, you know.
yeah. We
But
can't
you're
even go
right.
down that road right now, to be
Yeah,
honest.
you're right. But
But
Yeah,
yeah, I just wanted us to have this conversation. It's
yeah.
long overdue, but I feel like we needed the time to even make sense of our own
Everything.
thoughts towards it, you know. To people listening, if you can help, help. I don't even know however you can help. I mean, just in gesture itself, I feel just like that positive energy. Not to you talk about that toxic. Like if you are so moved to help in any way, just help. Don't go against that because you don't know who life you might change, right? We need it. We need it right now. You know, we need it right now. For everybody who lost, everybody's grieving, whether you're grieving the loss of a home,
everybody,
the loss of your livelihood, the loss of a loved one. Our hearts go out to you. You know, the most we can do is help in the way we can help in the way we can help, and try to make sense of it in our
Yeah,
own way. You know,
yeah,
going back to chronics. You know,
yeah.
it's really about resilience
And
now.
I
yeah,
yeah,
going to take a community. So we
yeah.
can.
I
We're gonna
just
take
like
a community,
that.
and it's
Yeah,
gonna take time. It's gonna take time. But
Mhm.
yeah,
brother, you know realize like when you tell the youth them that they experience COVID and Melissa. You know, like when you look back in the history books and you hear about some brother, when you realize we experienced 9/11, COVID, and now this. You don't
Players.
realize.
What next?
And that's just the things I
What
can
we
remember
next?
off the
we,
top
we
of my head.
also
Yeah, please don't
we
say it. Please
also
don't
and we
say it.
also
Please don't say
experience
it.
and we also they experience multiple genocides around the world at this time
Oh,
too.
no.
So there's
Listen,
that too.
listen.
We are good,
It's so much.
bro. So
It's so much
there's so much
collective. It's so much
trauma,
collective trauma, so much collective experiences we are lived through on a daily basis that we can't even make sense of. But let's finish on a hopeful note. Like we say, it's about resilience.
bro.
Hope I'm just glad to the man them all right. Glad to the man and loved ones all right. I know everybody is fighting the silent or loud battles. And we show all the best. Um, well,
Yeah,
let's
Hmm.
see if we can just pass some of the positive vibes and the positive energy along.
yeah.
And like I said, help who we can help, you know? So, bros, much
And
love always.
yeah,
That's it.
more one thing, more for one thing.
Mm,
Man, them what they need to know. You don't have to have money to be helpful. You see me? So yeah, just remember
that
that in
is it
all of
too.
this.
Is
Security
yeah,
money I
man.
have
You
things.
know, fi,
You don't have money to be
yeah, and
helpful.
you know, fi,
Yeah,
and that the next thing you know, fi show off, say I help, you
Help
know.
in
The
whatever
Bible
way
said,
you can.
don't make the right hand know what the left hand are doing, you know, what the left hand are doing, you know. So
yeah,
if I
Yeah.
mean, if monetarily you can help, of course, but even if it's just to help the neighbor put on their roof, manual labor,
yeah,
you can, you know, it's help how you can, man. But
Hmm.
yeah.
Ross, good for hear from Mona again.
All
Could
right,
have
bro.
share,
Just
it could be
wishing
sharing a
all the best.
Wi-Fi, you know?
Sharing a Wi-Fi,
Yeah,
a
Yeah.
little
simple as that.
hotspot so
Yeah,
them
bro.
can get in
All right.
contact with them, get in contact with them people, you know?
Mhm.
Yep.
Them thing that you see it.
All
So
right, guys.
yeah, bros. All right, bros. Blessings.
Yeah.
Peace. Yeah, man.